Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Sorry, I was running late from another meeting, but I'm here now. I hope everyone's having a great start to their February. Very excited about a new but very short month. So, whatever your goal is, make sure it's short and punchy and can be accomplished within 29 days. I was going to say 28, but it's a leap year. So, that is. Which means I always thought leap year meant we lost a day, but it actually means you gain a day. And it's so that we can stay in concert with the sun and the seasons. I'm not really good at astronomy, but that's what it means. I'm super excited. It is cold and rainy and dreary today, which I know sounds weird, but those are my favorite kinds of days. So, and not that I'm like anti-sun, but yeah, when it's like overcast and cloudy, it's like my happy day. I just love the weather and I love rain. I don't actually like driving in rain, but I have nowhere to be today, so it's perfect. Also, it is, there's going to be a Super Bowl next weekend or the weekend after. I don't really keep track. But I also love the Super Bowl, which is weird because I don't like sports, but I like it because it's nice and quiet that day. Like nobody bothers you on Super Bowl Sunday because they're all busy doing, I don't know, whatever Super Bowl things. And I know what you're thinking. Don't you like the halftime show? I feel like the halftime show, ever since like with the invention of social media, the halftime show has like taken a huge nosedive. Nobody really cares anymore. And also commercials. Same thing. Now that we have streaming services, commercials are kind of lame. There's nothing exciting anymore that anyone's doing with commercials. I know, I'm a tough audience. So it is my favorite day for writing because I can just do it uninterrupted. I turn off the phone. Nothing urgent happens on Super Bowl Sunday. And just fun facts, leap year was actually St. Patrick from Ireland declared in, I think it was, what did I say, the 5th century, that it was called Bachelor's Day, and he forbid women to propose to men, which I guess back then women proposed to men a lot, and apparently they felt so strongly about it they needed to declare a day when women could not be allowed to do that, so they call it Bachelor's Day. Anyways, in Greece it is considered bad luck to get married on leap year, and anyone born on leap year, a leap day, the 29th, is called a leapling. So that's my extensive knowledge of leap year. So there's a new workbook, which I say available now, but the truth is, because I was running late from that other meeting, it's not available now, but it will be today. So sorry about that. I'll get that out today. So if you've never been here, we do the same thing every time for our monthly plan with me's. I did try to change up the pictures though, to try to make it a little more updated for this year. So we do some housekeeping. We talk about our past month. So it's kind of like the weekly plan with me's, and we talk about things that we are going to redo for the next year. So we do a little bit of strategy because we revisit the doable dozen and your wish list, and the things that are your themes, whether it is the word, your habit, goals, decluttering, whatever it is. And then we talk about planning out your schedule. So not a lot to talk about last month. I actually worked more last month, and mostly that is only because I finally started writing. I know, it's a miracle. I have increased my writing from 0 to 43. So anything was going to be an improvement, but my workday has increased by 2 hours. So I don't even know. I used to say that I just didn't have enough time in the day to do everything, but I do have enough time. I just made time by honestly just watching less TV. And I always said that that was like my biggest weakness was TV. And so I am so glad that the writers and the actors went on strike because there is less stuff to watch. And, you know, I'm just really picky about the shows that I watch. And luckily, I do not like reality TV shows at all. I think they are incredibly boring. So I never waste a single moment watching any of those. And then I think what happens too is if you like reality TV, then you go and you follow those people on social media. And so like, even though you're wasting time watching the episode, then you're wasting more time just watching what they're doing and their updates in between and everything else. So anyways, very excited. Just hoping to keep this new 7.5 hour day. And yeah, that includes Saturdays and Sundays. So we'll see how long that's sustainable, because I didn't really take a lot of time to do any self-care. I don't know if it's, so I was just excited not to be sick for February, because I was sick for all of January, or most of January, and then all of December. So I really didn't post a lot of videos. I did post an announcement video about the podcast, and then I just turned that last one, the one that Molly and I do, into a podcast, which honestly I have zero hope for that succeeding, only because Molly and I could only do podcasts every other week with her childcare. So I think the way, and again, I don't listen to podcasts and I don't really understand them, but I think you need to do one episode a week. I'm not even sure how, like, what podcasters think or like what they're looking for, but because we like barely ever post anything, I feel like that will just kind of like not really be anything unless someone is really looking to listen to us on a podcast. But yeah. So I did do a lot of live streams for the month. So I feel like live streams, the nice thing about having this day job this last year was it kind of taught me to just show up for live on video for everything, because the team is remote and everything is a meeting. So to me, doing the podcasts are really just like another meeting. Like we're just meeting again. And it's kind of like the meetings never, hold on, sorry. Let me change something. There we go. It's like the meetings just never end. Whoops. All right. So, what else did I do? The live streams, we did the Plan With Me's, because I turned this into a podcast as well. So revenue is down. I don't know. I think a lot of YouTubers were talking about this all over the place. And then there's this other YouTube video where everyone's talking about who's leaving. Why is everyone leaving YouTube? Why is everyone quitting YouTube, right? And I don't know that anybody, honestly, is quitting YouTube. People quit things all the time. But I think some of the bigger names have been quitting, where you're kind of like, oh, they're the people you look up to and you admire, and you're like, oh my God, I wish I had 1 million subscribers. And they are leaving. I think mostly people are just getting burnt out. It's been a lot of years of doing this, and maybe they have new interests. Just like everybody else, people switch jobs every 7 years. And it's only very recently that we've had people with online, like facing, social media facing jobs where you actually notice. And so that is maybe just something that people have seen visually, and they were not able to see that before when people just have their day job. I know I did waste a lot of time yesterday, and I didn't even mean to. On YouTube, they were showing all of the, I guess, the Senate hearings, where they were like laying into the TikTok CEO and into the Facebook guy for the way children are like damaged by social media, and the way that women have a negative perception of themselves. And so I don't know if any, and I never ever watch the news, but I did find that fascinating that the Senate actually cares. And also, honestly, I don't think anything's going to be done about it. I just kind of feel like, because I know this sounds crazy, but I hate social media. And so but I still like post to it because I feel like I have to. And I guess in some fantasy land, one, I fantasize that some hackers will take down all social media, right? It'll just be destroyed and gone forever. Another fantasy I have is that the government will declare social media illegal, and we'll never have Facebook, TikTok, or any of those things again, and we won't have to worry about posting. So, and again, my business runs on YouTube, so I guess I would be sad if YouTube went away. And they did not show up, I guess, to the Senate hearings. It was voluntarily. You could have opted not to show up, I guess. I didn't really understand how it works. Anyways, that's just a small aside. So if you also sometimes hate social media, you are not alone. And those are clearly things that are not going to happen. It's like wishing for winning the lottery. I don't even play, but same thing. Okay, February podcast. I said 9. So I wrote these slides like, I think it was like yesterday in the morning. I actually have 12 podcasts booked for February. So it is so easy to book podcasts. I don't know. It's crazy to me that people are like struggling with podcasts or can't start or like have a again, I know it's like a very crazy or snobby attitude, but I hate podcasts, right? So, but I'm doing them anyway. I know I'm using the word hate a lot, but I am learning to like podcasts. But so the hard part, the easy part is scheduling people. The hard part is actually marketing them. And I really like Opus Clip. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but I'm doing the videos I'm posting those on TikTok and I'm posting those on Instagram Reels. And I just don't even care. I used to care about a curated feed on Instagram and it drove me crazy. And that's kind of why I left. So this is just way easier. So anyways, let's talk about your February doable dozen. So I know we are already into month 2 and I feel like this is deja vu from this time last year when you like look at the whole year and you're like, oh my God, there's so much time. But is there so much time, right? It's going to fly by so quickly and we're going to be right here again very soon. And I'm going to be telling you the same thing for 2025. Okay, now we're going to choose one goal. And you know what the funny part is, podcasting has never been a goal of mine. And I guess because to me, it just seems so silly. Like, why do you need to make it a goal? Just do it. It's kind of like, taking a shower. I don't have to make a goal to take a shower. I just take a shower. That's kind of how I feel about podcasts. So just reminding you, you do have access to both the Lisa method and Speedy Goals, which is how I do goal setting and the way that I kind of just run all of these plan with me sessions. So there are 29 days. It's a short month, but it's not that short, right? Like it's just one day if you think about it, shorter than your standard 30-day months. But for some reason, February always just feels like it is super like I'm cheated out of it, right? It's kind of like in the spring when you spring forward on the clock and you lose an hour. I feel cheated out of that 1 hour, even though it's like it's way less than a day, but I feel like I lost something. So anyways, visit your doable dozen, your wish list. What do you want to learn? Mine has not changed. Mine are still the same. Nothing is different from last month, and mostly because I didn't do a lot of things differently from last month to this month. So I feel like there wasn't really a lot of time to reflect. So my word of the year was discipline. However, because I was sick at the beginning of January, I changed my word of the month to grace because I was still getting over the flu, which thankfully is totally gone. I'm completely back to normal. And so my February word is finishing. So I am so excited about writing. I'll talk about this in a little bit, but I have all these covers and I've had these covers forever. And a lot of them are expensive. Like that Killed by Karma cover, I think it was like $2,000 for this cover, which is gorgeous. But I can definitely confirm I have not made an ROI on that because I haven't even finished. That's not true. I finished the book, but I haven't finished revising it. So, all these books are things that I love. I had great ideas for, and I just haven't finished. So my word is just finishing. And I used to say I was a weekend writing warrior, but honestly, I'm a daily writing warrior. I've found time somehow to write again. And if you know, or if you remember the Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies, I am a procrastinator, or not a procrastinator. I am a procrastinator, but one of the reasons I procrastinate is because I am a rebel. And a rebel just means you can't make me do anything, and I can't make myself do it either. And so because of that, no matter what I did to try to think of ways to write or do things better or restructure my day, it just didn't happen. And so what made this month different? The thing that made this month different, why I finally got some words written, is me. Like something switched. I don't know what it was. And I was just excited about writing again. I don't know how to help anybody else with that because literally I struggled for the whole year. I basically just forced myself to write this month if I had to think of like a micro strategy, and it was hard. The words didn't come. I tried to follow other people's templates, which were really good. I mean, they had great suggestions on, throw a murder in here, raise the stakes here, add another murder, put the main character in danger. And these were things that typically in a book would make it more interesting. And it was forcing me to plot my book in a way that I didn't want to plot it. So I wrote it like that, and it just felt unnatural. It was really hard for the words to flow. And then I had a friend who's like, oh my God, you have to make it like this. This is going to be more marketable. That's going to be more marketable. So I was trying to do that as well. And at the end of the day, I threw literally all of it away. So basically what happened is the first 3.5 weeks of January, I just wrote a bunch of stuff that I hated. And finally, like literally just a few days ago, I decided, you know what? I like the original stuff I wrote, and I like what I write. And, it's going to flow so much better if I just follow my own process and my own way of thinking. And it's not even my process. There is a book by Kathy Yardley. And Kathy Yardley has an amazing system for plotting. And she came out with this book, I'm going to say like 2014. And I read the book, and I actually did one-on-one coaching with her. And sometimes, you just click with somebody and their method and their process. And I loved it. And I loved everything about it. And it had nothing to do with mysteries. It just was how to plot a fiction book. And since then, I have always used that framework. So, if you think about it, it's been 10 years that I've been using that framework. I like it. It's familiar. I'm comfortable with it. I've been coached in it. And all of a sudden now I'm trying to change something. And not to say the other methods aren't maybe great alternatives or possibly even better, but they just really don't work for me and my writing style and what I like. So because of that, I have switched back to what I had originally. So if you look up Kathy Yardley, she has a bunch of books, and they're super short. And it's just how to plot, how to market, how to get a query letter, how to write more. She's super helpful. And I think she still does one-on-one coaching. She's in Seattle. And that has worked amazing for me. So again, it's kind of like our method for, I always make fun of it. Like, I obviously love my name. I made it the Lisa method and the Speedy Goals workbook method. But it's because of a lot of trial and error. And it's kind of like what I most resonate with. And so you should, if you're a writer or just goal setting or anything you're trying, try out a bunch of different things and see what you like. Because you'll find that you just naturally work better with one process or one method or strategy or way of thinking than another. And it'll help immensely. And then going against it sometimes is what is hard. So I said that my one habit for every day for 2024 was to journal. However, I found that I really like writing every day. I find that a little bit more therapeutic than the journaling. And not that journaling is bad, but if I have an extra 30 minutes before bed, I do want to write instead of journal. So I'm just letting you know, I changed my mind. And I had write 2 hours every day as my 2020 goal. I've been trying to make this a habit. It just hasn't. So I'm very excited that it's finally all coming together in 2024. So that is my new habit for the year, is writing every day. So how do I plan out my day? We talked about this before. I use ClickUp to just because you're going to have random thoughts throughout the day, no matter how structured your day is. You're probably here because you're a creative entrepreneur and you have things that you want to accomplish in life. Doesn't mean it has to happen this year or next year or even this decade, but you should put them in a list so you don't think about them or ruminate them, and then you can go on to the task that you're supposed to do that particular day. So that's what I do. And then also there is the Best Week Ever challenge that we did in January of last year, which I still think is amazing if you haven't done it. And it goes through your whole 24 hours to make sure you're making the most of all of your time. So February, what do I have planned? Nothing. I have nothing planned. So I'm taking a writing sabbatical for February, which I know is weird because I've been going live so much, and honestly, there's no time to do anything else, right? Like making the slides for today. Clearly I didn't do the workbook. I have to do the workbook. I didn't even mark it today. I forgot to send out an email. So all of this is taking up a lot of time. So I just need some extra time just this month to solidify that writing habit that I want to do. And so that's what's going to happen in theory for February. So not a lot planned. Today we just have the plan with me. I'm not going to do any of the Monday motivations for this month. It's such a quick month anyway. And then we'll be back to March and I'll add those back in. Monday Eve emails obviously will still keep going out. Here's your checklist for February. And that's pretty much it. And I've been doing so much talking, I didn't even check to see who is here. Who's here? Karen. Karen is always here. Shelly, Servy, Starry Night. Yeah, yes, this is a new month, a new chance to get everything right. And Karen, appreciate your cheery, positive energy. Oh, thank you. Starry Night showed up to one of the video podcasts for the Cozy Mystery Channel, and she won a book. So if you were like just wanting some books to read, there actually are not a lot of people on there. I know. How is it I'm not more popular? But again, not a lot of people are showing up, which is crazy. I have a mailing list of, I think it's not that big. I think it's like 10 or 12,000 of readers. But every time I send that out, and maybe it's because I'm doing it during the day instead of the evening, but only like 5 or 6 people will show up. And so anyway, so my point is, not whining about that, just saying there's a high likelihood you could win a free book if you show up to my live streams for the author Cozy Mystery Chat with me. And that's on the Lisa Latte channel. Shelly wanted to do more, but yes, it's a new month. Yeah, you could totally start over. Karen, I saw you relaunched your Lisa London book channel. Yes. So let me talk about that really quickly. So the Lisa London book channel was meant to be a romance author tube channel. And then I switched it over and kind of started talking to readers. And then I got bored of that. And then I decided to just write cozy mysteries, and I abandoned that channel altogether. Well, fast forward 4 years. It's been 4 years. I think it's 4 or 5 years since I stopped posting that channel. I got a note yesterday saying we are going to demonetize your channel. And I thought, oh my God, don't do that. And I don't even get that much money from it. In fact, I have an income report coming out on that channel later this month. But I wanted to, I've been wanting to post about tutorials, like how to use Scrivener, how to use, start your direct sales with Shopify, how to hook up Flowdesk. Like, I really just genuinely want to help other authors. And as you know, I love doing tutorials. And so I thought, well, this is like a sign. I should go back and revive that channel and finally like start pushing out some tutorial videos. So that's what I'm doing. And obviously it's going to be podcast format because I shouldn't say obviously, because everyone's doing, I feel like there's like everything I say now should just be a podcast, even though it's a tutorial where you're watching the screen. I'm just going to make it a podcast. We'll see what happens. And so, yes, thank you, Karen, for noticing. The Lisa London channel is alive again, and it's going to have tutorials. And also I was doing, so all the tutorials that we have here that were not related to planners or Adobe InDesign, I hid. Those are all secret videos that are only available to Planner Pixies. And I just found like the algorithm, like the videos were low, people were confused by it. And it's the same reason why the Card Deck Academy is its own totally separate channel. And I really like niching down because me, as somebody who visits a channel or an account or something, I just want to know what you're doing, right? Like, I came here for one thing. I don't care that you can do 20 other things and also, you know, do HVAC repair. I just came here for one subject and I want to know about that. So that is also why I like move stuff over. So anyway, so my point was the tech tutorials that I did on this channel, people were like, why are you doing that? I just came here for planners. So I'm excited because over on that channel, I can just do all the tech of all the things and all the tools that I think you need to be an author today, or basically run an online business. And so, yeah, so very excited about sharing those as well. Karen, I'm amazed at how many plates Lisa. Yeah, I'm amazed too. We'll see if they all stay up. Karen, when are you going to promote your own books? I rarely see you mention them. Lucky needs some extra attention. You know, I feel guilty because I haven't written anything. So I will promote those books once I actually write something. So my goal really, if you were wondering about my writing goals, is to turn a book in to my agent, which I owe from like, it's been 2 years. And then I've started book 4 in the cupcake series of Lucky's Cupcake series. So yeah, and that's actually a crossover with Emmy Lynn, who I am talking to tomorrow on the channel. So Emmy Lynn is a friend, and she's so good at just kicking out books. And she's retired. So don't feel too impressed, right? But she still makes time she like gets those books out and she gets them done, and she so she does have more time, I might, because she's retired, but she still, even like sometimes when you have tons of time, clearly I added 2 extra hours every day in January. I could have been doing that this whole time. But my point is, Emmy has so many different series, and she has a dogs and donuts series. And the character in there is a dog walker. And so her character actually is in book number 4, because we had wanted to do a crossover book. And she actually put Ava, my main character, in one of her books. And it's my turn to put one of her characters in my books, and I just haven't done that. So I'm very excited about that. Want to release that. And yeah, that is pretty much it for February. So sorry I was late today. Again, I just have a lot of meetings, and I will see everybody if you want to catch me live, I am definitely 100% like on par for going live on the Lisa Latte Cozy Mystery channel. And yeah, and otherwise I'll be kind of quiet this month, except for the Monday Eve newsletters, and I will be back in March. But I will always be on Heartbeat. So stop in there, and obviously don't forget about Voxer. All right.